Hi students, this is Mr. Yao. Today we're going to continue our learning about equations of circles. Last time we had defined the general form of the circles, so let's work on these prior knowledge questions first. Here they are. A, the point -5, 6 is on a circle with center 5, -4. Write the standard equation of the circle. So quickly review, the general form of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Emphasizing on the h and the k has to be the opposite of the numbers that are given to you. So first, whenever you are given a center, you will at least be able to write the left side of the equation. So x minus h, in this case h is 5, so it's x minus 5, then squared. The right side is y minus k, and k in this case is -4, so it's going to be y plus 4 squared. Currently, we don't know r, so we're going to keep it as r squared. And that is where this extra point comes in. Because if we're told a point is on a circle, that means from this point to the center, the distance has to be r squared. So all we need to do is plug in the x and the y. We'll have -5 minus 5 being squared, then 6 plus 4 being squared, that equals r squared. -5 minus 5 is -10 squared, that is 100. And then 6 plus 4 is 10 squared, that is 100. That equals to r squared. In this case, my r squared is going to be 200. And after knowing r squared, I can easily finish writing the equation, which is x minus 5 squared plus y plus 4 squared, that equals to 200. And that is my final answer. Okay, question B. In this one, you are given the center, so let's start with that, -5, 2. Right here, that is my center. And it's tangent to y equals -3. Again, y equals means you're crossing the y-axis, so it's going to be a horizontal line at -3. And to understand how this works, is going to use something that we have learned. From the center, if you draw a perpendicular line to a line, that is going to give you a point of tangency, and you can actually find out the radius. So in this case, the radius is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As soon as we have the radius, we already know the center, we can write the equation. X plus 5, again, it's the opposite number. Since the -5, we need a +5 inside the parentheses. Then y minus 2 squared, that equals to, my radius is 5, so it's going to be 5 squared, which is 25. The question didn't ask you to draw a circle, so you do not have to draw the circle. You can just kind of use the graph to help you find out the radius. So that's the prior knowledge, and these are the things that we have learned in the last lesson. Now let's continue into today's lesson. So last time we have learned if we want to decide if a point is on a circle or not, we can just simply plug it in. But in this lesson, how do you find the center of a circle with endpoints of diameter? So let's say these are endpoints of a diameter, and we have this circle. Let's say that's the case. Well, it's not quite a circle, but you know the gist. So let's say these are the 2 points on the circle. If they are the diameter, then something about the center has to be exactly in the middle of these 2 points, because that's how we have the 2 radii. That's why we can use the midpoint formula to find out exactly where the center is. We add the x-coordinates divided by 2 and the y-coordinates divided by 2, or in other words, we'll just average the x-coordinates and the y-coordinates. Now let's see them in some examples. Example 1. We have the 2 points. Well, actually, we have 4 points. These 2 and then these 2. You can use either 2 of them. So let's say you chose to use the 2 that are on the x-axis. We have one at -7, where the other one at 1. In order to find their middle, well, it's going to be -7 plus 1 divided by 2. That is going to be -6 divided by 2, which is -3. So it's actually going to be at -3, 0. And as soon as you have the radius, you have the center, you will also be able to, let me write down the center, it's -3, 0. As soon as you have that, you will also be able to find out the radius. 1, 2, 3, 4. The radius is 4. Now I can write the equation of the circle. X plus 3, because it's a -3, so I need the opposite, squared. My y is y minus 0, which is just y squared. My radius is 4, square that, it is 16. There's my equation for example 1. And now I'm going to ask you to pause here and try example 2 and example 3. Then you can come back for example 4. Now that you have tried example 2, let's find out. So clearly you can see some points on there. Here's a point. Here's another point. These are the ones that are furthest away from each other. And this one is at -9. Well, let me actually write it down. It's at -9, comma, that's at 3. And this one is at 3, comma 3. So if we connect them, the center is for sure going to be right in the middle. The y-coordinates are actually the same, so the center, of course, is going to have the y-coordinates as 3. But the x-coordinates, we have -9 plus 3 divided by 2. That's -6 divided by 2 is -3. So my center is going to be at -3, comma 3. -3, comma 3. Right there. And as soon as we have that, we can count the radius. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The radius is 6. I can easily write the equation x coordinate is -3, so it's going to be x plus 3. Y coordinate is 3, so it's going to be y minus 3. That equals to, my radius is 6, square that, 36. There's my equation for that circle. Moving on, example 3. Same idea. Let's find out the 2 points that are furthest away from each other. Well, since I've been using the horizontal ones, for this one, I'm going to use the vertical ones. So one point is at 1, 1. The other point is at 1, -5. They have the same x coordinate, so clearly the center will also share that same x coordinate, which is going to be at 1. As for the y coordinates, 1 plus a -5, then divided by 2. That's -4 divided by 2, which is -2. So my center is going to be, again, share the same x coordinate, so let me connect them. Right in the middle, I will have 1, comma, -2. Then the radius will be 1, 2, 3. So r equals 3. I can write the equation x minus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared. Again, the opposite of the numbers that we have in the coordinates. That equals to the radius squared, which is 3 squared, which is 9. And there's my equation for number 3. Moving on, number 4. The circle has endpoints of the diameter as 3, 6, and -4, 6. So in these first three examples, you can surely find other points. Like let's say you find this point and another point on the bottom. But that's not going to help you to find the radius in an easier way because these points are hard to identify. So that's why we just go for the easier ones. You can either choose a horizontal diameter or a vertical diameter. But example 4 through 6 are a bit different because this time the diameter points are chosen for you. So we have 3, 6 and -4, 6. Going to add the x coordinates, 3 plus -4, then divided by 2. That's going to give you a -1/2. As for the y coordinates, they're still the same, so the y coordinates would just be 6. So my center is going to be -1/2, comma 6. But for now, we have no idea what the radius is going to be. So now this question becomes one of those that we have done in the prior knowledge. So we're going to use the center to at least set up the general form of this equation. X plus 1/2 squared, then plus y minus 6, then squared. That's going to equal to r squared. Currently, we do not know what r is. However, you are given points that are actually on the circles. In fact, you have two of them. And you can choose to use either one of them to actually find out what is the r squared. I'm just going to use the first one. So x is 3, y is 6. I will have 3 plus 1/2 squared plus 6 minus 6 squared, that equals to r squared. This part is just going to be 0. The first part, 3 plus 1/2 is 7/2, square that. R squared is going to be 49 over 4. So now I can actually finish writing the equation. X plus 1/2 squared plus y minus 6 squared, that equals to 49 over 4. And there's my actual equation. So this time is a combination of, say, example 3, 1 through 3, and the prior knowledge. You can pause here and try example 5 and example 6. Now let's have a look at example 5 and example 6. 5, same idea. Let's find out the center first. Average the x coordinates, so 0 plus 10 divided by 2, that is a 5. Then 13 plus 5 divided by 2, that is a 9. So my center is going to be 5, comma 9. Then I can use that center to write the general form of the equation, x minus 5 squared plus y minus 9 squared, that equals to r squared. Then I can use, again, either point to help me find the r squared. Since the previous example I have used the first point, this one I'm going to use the second point. Replace x with 10, replace y with 5. So 10 minus 5 squared plus 5 minus 9 squared, that equals to r squared. 10 minus 5 is 5, 5 squared is 25, 5 minus 9 is negative 4, negative 4 squared is a positive 16, that equals to 41, which is my r squared. So I can write the equation now, x minus 5 squared plus y minus 9 squared, that equals to 41. There we go. That is example 5. Example 6. A circle has endpoints of the diameter as -6, 8, and 2/10. Same thing. Let's find out the midpoint. -6 plus 2 divided by 2, that's -4 divided by 2, so -2. 8 plus 10 divided by 2, that is 18 divided by 2, which is a 9. So I can easily write the center, that is -2, 9. After that, I can use that to write the general form of the equation. Since -2 is going to become +2 inside the parentheses, and then it's going to be y minus 9 squared, that equals to r squared. Afterwards, I can use either point. I'm going to use the first point again. So I have -6 plus 2 squared, then 8 minus 9 squared equals to r squared. So -6 plus 2 is a -4 squared, that is 16. 8 minus 9 is a -1 squared, that is a 1, so that equals to 17, which is my r squared. Now I can finish writing the equation, x plus 2 squared plus y minus 9 squared, that equals to 17. That is everything for the 7.6b lesson. Thank you.